You sound much like Rob Manfred putting his foot in his mouth, as he is well known to do. Not only his comments about A's fans just becoming Giants fans. He also may have let it slip accidentally that he's retiring. That's usually a pretty big deal when a commissioner announces that he will be gone uh, after his next tenure. It's actually slipped out over the last few weeks. It was not There was no press conference, there was no press release announcing that he would be done after his tenure ends. His contract extension ends in 2028. He was asked a few weeks ago if expansion would be happening anytime soon, which is a hot topic. Lots of people talking about, of course, Nashville, potentially Portland, potentially even Montreal again. So it came up. His response at that point was that he didn't think it was going to happen during his tenure. And that just sort of slipped under the radar. It's like, well, that's interesting, because then that could just mean it's going to take a long time, because we've got to get the Oakland Stadium figured out. We've got to get Tampa's stadium figured out. And they need to get the next collective bargaining agreement, which we've barely entered into the current one. But 4 years from now, we're going to be having the same conversations, and most likely a lockout once again. I don't think there's going to be any expansion before that new collective bargaining agreement happens. And all the regional sports networks who are in bankruptcy right now, after those situations need to get resolved before new ownership is going to step in for expansion team. That kind of got glossed over the way he talked about that, but got brought up again. A similar question got brought up again this past week when he was asked about the locations of future All-Star games, which are planned 4 and 5 years out in advance. He said that he didn't want to make decisions should be for the new commissioner to handle, which I believe all of the All-Star games are taken care of through 2028, which would be through the end of his tenure. And that led to the follow-up question: is your tenure ending after 2028? And he said, well, yeah, I guess it is. So it's almost like he accidentally told the world that he's quitting, which would be not out of character for how bad his PR skills are, how he's let things slip out like the World Series trophy is just a hunk of metal,
Yes.
and everything else. So it would not be out of character that he botched his own retirement announcement, that he just sort of let it slip out. So that is common knowledge now, that his reign of terror will officially end after the 2028 season. My headline on this is Manfred Out. Unfortunately, we have to wait another 5 years essentially for that to actually happen. So,
I'll be in there just long enough to get that White Sox stadium built.
well, yeah, that's what's interesting. So many things are happening around 2028. So yeah, we're looking deep into the future in this episode. So yeah, that's. I guess we'll be counting down the days for Rob Manfred's tenure to finally come to a close.
Word Hole Media.